Hello, Americans, or anybody who's listening. You don't have to be American. This is Podcast versus the World. My name is Cameron L. Arlington. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you listening to the podcast. Um, we're on all your podcast locations. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I believe we're on iHeart, if I remember correctly. Um, wherever you watch, wherever you get your podcast at, that's where we're at. I put up posts on Facebook. Hey, we have our own Facebook account on Facebook. It's under Podcast Versus the World. It was underneath my name, but I changed it. Have a tone. Um, we're everywhere. YouTube, TikTok. I do a TikTok. I'm gonna do a TikTok show this weekend, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have a lot to talk about that day. A lot of stuff going on, the Trump parade and all that good stuff there. Um, the first thing I want to say is, people of Los Angeles, stay safe. But guys, we have to quit. We can't fight the ICE people. We may disagree with them, 1,000%. It's not right what they're doing, but they're doing the job. It reminds me of a time when wasn't this dramatic, not even close. I used to work for a water utility, you know, and they would, water people would cut people's water off, and people would call me, "Hey, why is my water off?" And I'd look on the list, and they was on the cutoff list. I said, "I'm sorry, nothing I can do." They said, "I got a baby, I got this and that." I'm sorry, and I'd get cussed out about it. I didn't do it. I'm sorry this happened. I'm just doing a job. What I'm trying to say is, stay safe, stay smart, peaceful protest. Don't tear up property. That's what Trump wants. He wants you to tear up shit. I mean, let's be honest. He wants you to tear up property so they can bring in the Marines. That's just ridiculous. Bring in people who that's not their job. That's not their job. Just stay safe. Stay safe. Um, if you read the name of the show today, it's called Free Speech. What they don't want to tell you. What do you think that means?
Could the NFL really be
What does that mean? Let me explain. Why I bring this up? ABC News had a commentator, a news reporter named Terry Moran. Okay, Terry Moran, on his off time, wrote a tweet on X, where he talked about President Trump and Stephen Miller. Here's what he wrote. Miller is a man who is richly endowed with the capacity for hatred. He is a world class hater. You can see this just by looking at him, because you can see that his hatreds are his spiritual nourishment. He eats his hate. Trump is a world class hater, but his hatred only a means to an end, and that end is his own glorification. That's his spiritual nourishment. Now, my understanding was that you could say what you wanted to say. Now, let me go ahead and read. The consequences of this was he was suspended on June 8th. Um, ABC News called this post a clear violation of news policies on objectivity and professionalism. Now, here's the funny part, guys. Here's the funny part. He had made plenty of posts about Republicans and Democrats in the past. He'd done this all the time. He made his little statement known, but he still reported a fair show. I never thought he was against one. He just told you the facts. That's it. He didn't tell you anymore. I find it very funny that the people who claim to be free speech Oh, we're for free speech. You can say anything you want to. But as soon as you say something against them, it ain't so free anymore, is it? Supposedly, the government are not supposed to do that to you. What was I looking for? See, as long as you say what they want you to say, you're fine. The First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. What do you think this was? Because he didn't agree with Trump and then kiss Trump's ass? I mean, that's been the whole thing lately. If you don't kiss Trump's ass and you're part of legacy media, he's coming after you. He's coming after you. Now, I didn't think the president could do that because that's exactly what happened. They put the feelers out there and they told ABC News that they'll cut them up because you keep your reporters in line, or I won't let them cover me, or whatever BS is going on with Trump. Now, I will say this: the First Amendment does not guarantee immunity from consequences. There are consequences. You know, speech is free. Consequences, they're free too. You can get your ass whooped. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. ABC News made a business decision, but I thought that the people who didn't like free speech were lefties, the snowflakes, the real snowflakes in the White House. You don't like it. You don't like when you talk about him. Oh, you talk about him. Oh, you just don't like me or whatever. People love to say, I have the right to say whatever I want. You sure can. The First Amendment protects you from government punishment. It doesn't guarantee you a platform. It doesn't protect you from criticism. And it doesn't give you immunity from consequences in the private world. This is what happened with Terry Moran. But it was from pressure from the White House. We all know this. We all know this. We live in a world where we have government officials, our president for sure, lie at a drop of a hat. Just like today, he had a he said the deal is done with China. People, it's a framework. Just like Britain, it's a framework. The Chinese president hasn't agreed to it. It's a framework. Framework doesn't make it a deal. Just means a framework. Like I explained this before, it's like the frame to a house. But according to Trump, we have a deal. Freedom of speech is free as long as it agrees with what you believe, and that's what we're dealing with right now with Terry Moran. The White House bullied ABC. I 1,000% believe this. If you look at this man's Twitter account, he has made plenty of tweets about different politicians and stuff that he's observed. He's done this plenty of times. Nobody else, thought, okay, well, he can say what he wants to say. But because Trump wants to be a dictator, he wants to be a dictator. He wants to run everything. He's trying to control the media. And the media, you know, they are giving in. But that's why we have places like Podcast versus the World. That's why we have places like the Midas Touch Network, Pod Save America. There's a bunch of them. Can't name them all. I should have written them down on the list. There's a bunch of them that are not afraid to say what needs to be said, right? I had a lady write me who said that the rhetoric on both sides. I'm like, well, we have one group that says they're freedom of speech. They're really not, as long as you speak the way they want you to speak. Kiss Trump's ass. Yeah, they're cool. It's not true freedom of speech. It really isn't. As long as you say what they want you to say, and that's the problem. Terry Moran learned the hard way. Now, if ABC was any type of company, they really believed in free speech and freedom of the press, they would have stood up, just like these colleges are. Everybody's getting tired of being bullied. Did you know that Linda McMahon had the nerve to say that if there's not enough conservative teachers, they're going to pull funding from the call from, was it Harvard or one of these? Because they only have 3% of conservative voices. What the fuck does it matter? If I'm teaching you math, what the hell does that matter? But here we go. Here we go. This is how authoritarianism starts. To be an authority figure, to run the country, you think you're the king. You're going to see a man try to be a king on Saturday with his big little parade, costing the taxpayers millions of dollars. But it all starts here with free speech. Why do I bring up this other stuff? Because it all starts with free speech. They're trying to take away your right to think. If you don't think the way they think, they're going to get you. They're going to get you. They don't want you to think for yourself. He wants to be a king from day one. This is all this was about. It's all this was about. Many people put their trust in him. He lied to them straight to their face. Well, kind of. Let's talk about the Latinos for Trump. Speaking of free speech, he lied and told them, I'm just getting the bad ones out. Now he's going after people who are working at Home Depot. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Grabbing people off the street, people who have secure status. This is what we're doing now. This is the plan. It's a shame. It all starts with free speech. They don't want you to sit here and talk. So how do you do that? Free speech is a lot of things. They first started this out very quietly, started burning books. Did you know that in Florida they were burning books? There was a book, there were books that you can't read. Then they're taking away history. Any history of a person of color than anything in this country, they are taking it away. But then we still have black folk, which I find this outrageous, still support Trump. Trump has not once said, we shouldn't cut out black history. Not once. But he's cutting it out. This is how it starts. And these so-called black leaders, they were all the ones, if I can't remember the guy's name I was reading on Twitter. I used to read him all the time. He was against Kamala. Ain't heard from him. Wish I had his name. I'd call him out right now. Get all these people down for Trump. He's taking your rights. He's taking your history away. This man, Terry Moran, on his own time. Now, maybe ABC does have a policy where they're not supposed to do that, but you look at his Twitter account, he's done it plenty of times. I didn't say a word. But when you got rabbit ears Trump crying that the media doesn't like him, and dude, dude, you're not a good person. I guess everybody should kiss his ass. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. What is free speech? They weaponize it. As soon as you say something, they ban you. Look what happened to Terry Moran. He was canceled. Oh, remember the cancel culture was only done by the lefties? I'd say that's a lie. I would say the right's just as bad as the left. Cancel culture. They're pretty good at it too. Guess they must have learned. If you don't have the right amount of money, this president ain't listening to you. If we are truly a free society, we should be able to say what we want to say. And that's being challenged as we speak. We should think the way we want to think. We should read what we want to read. What is our country doing right now? We have a country that's cutting our education, whitewashing history, and there's some of you that are okay with it. There are some of you, and I'm talking about there's black folks, there's my Mexican people, my Latinos, who are okay with it. Latinos for Trump. How you feeling today? This isn't a left versus right issue. This is a right versus wrong. This is the truth. All I'm telling you is the truth. And I'm not sitting here telling you that because not every Republican's doing this. I think there are truly old school Republicans who know this. I think there's a lot of them that know this is wrong. I really do. And I'm starting to see some of them starting to come up. I'm trying to think. Haley, I think he's out of Missouri, I believe. He's talking with sense. Mikowski from Alaska, the senator of Alaska. McCluskey, what's her name? He's talking with sense. We need more people who are about America, about the country, not about the party. Do what's right for the people. And that's the problem. How many of them are going to do what's right for the country? This is what we ask. This is what I ask all the time. How many are going to do what's right for us? But this is how it starts. They take your freedom of speech away. Now you can't even say what you want to say. Terry Moran won't be the last. You saw where they sued 60 Minutes over a piece about Kamala Harris because it was cut because Trump didn't like the way it was cut. Are you serious? And then CBS sat there and said, "Well, we'll pay you. We don't want to get you mad." And fuck that. Fuck him. It's about time that somebody stands up. But the problem is, they know that these senators are no good, or the Republicans that are in office. Probably some of these Democrats too, that would sit there and they wouldn't fight for him. You need people in Congress that'll fight for you. Like I said, you have a cosplay Congress. They don't want to fight for you. There's a bunch of them that are just They just go behinders. They're happy as long as their bread is buttered. They could care less about what happens, about the erosion of America. We are watching the erosion of America. That is why this free speech is so important to the people that said free speech was important to them. Really, is it? There should have been people throwing a fit about Terry Moran. But we all assume, oh, ABC has policies. No, they don't. I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe they do. But I think they were pressured by the Trump administration. I believe they were pressured. And that is why he was kicked off the air. And he's a good reporter. Been doing it for how many years was it? Let's see. How many years had been there? 28 years. 28 years. And because this man, Trump, has got rabbit ears, soft as tissue paper, that's why this man gets gets kicked out, lost his job. And I don't know if they have a policy about it. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, we may never find out because legacy media is not going to talk about this. ABC is not going to talk about it. Maybe MSNBC, maybe some of these other ones might talk about it, but they won't. They're going to sweep them underneath the rug. That's why shows like this exist. We're going to tell you the stuff that people aren't talking about. I got a story on Elon Musk and this supercomputer is going to come out that we need to talk about. Shows like this need to exist. I will say this about Elon Musk. He did say one thing: we are the new media. Legacy media can't do everything because if it bleeds, it leaves. Terry Moran is not a big enough story. Not big enough. We got LA going on. Trump's pushing LA as hard as he can. You know why? Because he has that bill he's trying to get passed in DC. Nobody's stupid. I told you that on the magic trick. The last podcast versus the world episode, the magic trick. It tells you all about it. Why you got the LA riot, the LA, I'm not even calling them riots. What I seen was peaceful. There are some people acting crazy, but this is what happens. People are upset. So while the LA thing's going on, now all the pressure's off the people in DC. They think we all forgot. I didn't. If I got to talk about it every day, if I got to do TikToks on it, if I have to talk about it on this show, I will. I'll talk about it all the time. I won't stop. I will not stop. I'll say what needs to be said every day if I have to. I got a live Saturday. I will talk about it then also. I will talk about what's going on. And I do not have a problem doing it. But that's what you have to be. You have to be fearless in this time of crisis. Okay? We can't be afraid to talk. Because if we don't have free speech, we have managed speech. Controlled not by law, but by fear. And that's what they want. They want to scare you. They're trying to scare you not to talk. They said, look at Terry Moran. See, they're telling all the reporters, look at Terry Moran. His company didn't even stand up for him. He'd been there for 28 years. And ABC didn't even have the gall. They didn't even stand up for that man and say, no, Trump, you know what? We're going to stand by Terry. Now, Terry, we might put you on, let's say, a week's leave. Because listen, right now, they shouldn't have done that. They should have stood by that man and let him say he want to. But no, ABC chickened out, Disney chickened out, and they let Trump bully them around. Disney's one of the biggest companies in the world. Go hire you some lobbyists, buy some of these congressmen because they're for sale. Don't give a damn what they say. They're for sale. Go buy you a few and go take care of this. But nope, nope. We just let Trump keep on bullying people. Just let keep pushing people around. It's cool. It's whatever. Because Trump knows these people don't want to fight. They're just trying to survive. So let's also remember that unpopular speech is what the First Amendment was made here for. People are always gonna like what you say. Trump didn't like what Terry Moran said, but Trump used the bully pit of the White House, of his presidency. 'Cause that's what he's doing to everybody. Now, thank God people are starting to stand up. Harvard stood up, made him back down. His poor son can't even get into Harvard. You think Harvard's going to take Bear and Trump unless they change their mind? I don't think so. I don't think so. We should be able, in a thinking man society, this is what makes America better than every other place on this earth. We should be able to disagree with whoever, say what we want to say within the confines of our job. You can't be calling people racial slurs or doing stuff like that because that'll get another response that you don't want. But if I come at you respectfully, like what I read to you about Terry Moran wasn't bad. He's looking at what's going on. I imagine he's talking about the looking at the way they're doing people, the Latino community, and just picking people up. There's a report that Stephen Miller went to the ICE agents, the head people of the ICE, and told them, you need to pick up 3,000 people a day. He also told them, you need to go you need to go to Home Depot, you need to go where they work at. What kind of that's all I see it. Piece of trash does that. But no, we can't do it the right way. We'll bring in the white South Africans, but let's get rid of the people who actually add to our economy, who actually do stuff, done nothing wrong, no criminal records. No criminal records. You know. Now we'll let the people at January 6th off. You know, we'll let them off for all the shit they did. But these people, no criminal records, good, hardworking people. Instead of saying, okay, but this is the easy way to fix immigration. Okay, if a company knows that they have people who are immigrants, undocumented, you go to every company, you give them a year, you say, listen, we know you have undocumented immigrants working for you. We're going to give you a year to help them become citizens. You can't fire them because now we know they're there. So don't be trying to fire them and cover your ass. Ain't doing that. You are going to help them go through the process, and we want it done within a year. Give them 2 years. We're going to get rid of it. If you have a criminal record, any kind of violence, you're gone. Okay? You're out of here. But the ones that come here, do the work, good people, do that. You can't even do that. Right? But Terry Ryan didn't say anything wrong. And that's why he wrote it over the stuff going on in Los Angeles, I would imagine. Freedom of speech. It's a big one, people. It's a big one. and it's on the line. Other people who say they're the biggest freedom of speech people. No, they're not. No, they're not. These protests shouldn't be a big deal. That's your constitutional right to protest. Just as long as you're not protesting them. It goes back to freedom of speech to protest, freedom of speech. You have the right to protest ICE agents going into somebody's job or catch them out of court and just snatching them up. You have the right to protest. That is your right as an American citizen to protest, but not with Trump. Because once again, he's taking away freedom of speech and he's doing it in different ways. He's showing you by force that if you go against him, you talk against him, you protest, they will knock you down, they'll put you in jail. He's doing that through education. He's banning books. He's taking away black history for any minority that did anything for this country. Take them out. You got Pete Hegseth sitting there getting rid of names of boats that was named after prominent black figures and gay rights activists or whatever. That they got a boat named after, I think, Harvey Milk and Rosa Harriet Tubman, and don't take them off. Let's put back the Confederate soldiers on there. Really? We're putting losers on boats now, huh? Okay. They are attacking your freedom of speech several different ways. So it's not just rhetoric on both sides. It really is not right now. I don't see it. People told you that Trump was a fascist and he was trying to be a dictator. People told you. We told you. I think I started this podcast after he was inaugurated. For me, right when he came into office, I started the podcast. So, but I know personally, in my private life, I was telling everybody, you can't trust him. He's against America. Oh, he's a businessman. No, 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 man. No, man. He's against America. Do you forget how he's treating the vets? Do you remember that? This is just stage one of a plan. This is how you do it. If they can't fight, if they can't talk, if they can't protest, I got you. As long as we have Congress that's not going to do anything, it's, but we here at Podcast versus the World, we're going to keep bringing up, we're going to keep telling the stories, we're going to keep reminding people. Well, our platform here, or my platform here, is to tell everybody what's going on. I'm going to tell you the truth. Truth hurts sometimes. It's all good. Truth hurts, but sometimes you need it. You need to be told this isn't right versus left. This is we're talking about the Constitution. We have a man tap dancing all over the Constitution, and you would think that there was constitutionalists, at least in the Republican Party. I was always told they're the constitutionalists. They care less. I am seeing the truth. Always kind of figured that, but I'm seeing it today. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. We love the likes. We love comments. I might get more comments off my TikTok, which is fine, which is cool. We're gonna try to get more of the TikTok people over to the podcast and get you guys more involved. We really do appreciate it. Um, 10 p.m. Saturday, Central Standard Time. We're going live. Oh, I imagine we'll be talking about LA and I think they were doing some raids up in Nebraska. My friend was telling me, and he lives in Omaha. Doing some raids up there also. I imagine I'll be coming to my town here soon. Wouldn't be surprised. But if you made this far, the drive for 5,000 on TikTok, we're still working on it. We gain a few, lose a few. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're on all your podcast locations. Please don't forget us. We're here working hard for you. We're on YouTube. Please go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Let's get me into the algorithm so more people can see the content. We're working hard. We're working hard. This is something that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, the free speech thing. What's going on with happening with Terry Moran. So I always thought the guy was a good guy. So I got the shaft on that one, in my opinion. Um, the email to get in touch with us is podcast versus the world 76 at gmail.com. We appreciate everybody who supports us, who's there. We're everywhere. We're on Facebook. If you go to Instagram, it's under my name, Cameron Abington, where I send out videos or whatever. Listen, let me tell you something. This is going to get worse before it gets better, but it's going to get better. But keep your head up. Don't give up. Don't give in. Okay? It's going to get better. It's going to get better. I really believe it will get better. Um, it's a dark time. We're in a time that I never thought we'd be in, to see our own Americans going against each other. I never thought I'd see an American president do the things that he's doing, but here we are. Here we are. Podcast versus the world. May God bless you. Abington